What is differential feed? On a BERNINA L890 serger, there's a couple different ways to think about differential feed. First, if you're used to using a walking foot or a built-in dual feed on your sewing machine, think of this as the serger's version of a walking foot. So what happens when you stitch something and it comes out a little wavy? This fabric will usually give me that result when just stitching a normal 4-thread overlock all the way down the stretchy side. It's the first stitch of the day, so we do hear that little extra. And when we serge, there are 2 sets of feed dogs underneath your foot. If you lift up your presser foot, you can see what I'm talking about. So here, all in all, this doesn't look too bad, but if I lay this down, I'm starting to get a little wave to it. Sometimes when I'm working with fabric that is a little bit more loosely woven or thick, for example, like a piece, these are 2 pieces of like terry cloth. What happens is that as we stitch, the fabric is stretched underneath the presser foot unintentionally, I know, but all in all, we start to get that little wiggle in our seam. Now, this is totally correctable. When you use the settings in the Sewing Advisor here, you might not always get the answer that you're looking for. So, as in when to turn the differential feed on or when not to. You usually like to just stitch it out and see if you need the adjustment at all. So right down in the lower left corner is the differential feed adjustment. So again, you can touch the little picture of a movie and it will tell you what to do if you're having certain adjustment situations for different fabric types. So I have at times bought fabric thinking it was going to be very stretchy and stretch out. And to do this sample as a classroom exercise for our serger students and have no issue whatsoever, then the next fabric might need it. So this is something that you will need when you need it, but not until then. So let's talk about what we've got and how to fix it. So first off, your differential feed is actually going to adjust the 2 feed dogs. So the front one is either going to pull in more or less than the one behind it. At 1, they pull in together. Think of it as a ratio. So if I need a little bit more fabric pulled in, which is what I need for this, to be eased in while it's stitching, I need more movement of that front feed dog. So I'm going to go up to, say, even a 1.5. It will go all the way up as high as 2. Now there is the opposite direction where it actually slows down that front feed dog and the back one is technically higher than the front. I'll explain that next. But let's just say we go to 1.5. Here's the thing, if you don't remember which way to go, one's going to make it worse, one direction's going to make it better. So just do a sample and see which one you like. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to stitch with a 1.5 differential feed, which is probably a little too much, but you'll see that it's going to come out a lot flatter than its first side. So it was like eased in instead of stretched out. Now, the other direction, so let's just touch it back to 1, so that's the normal setting. The other direction, down to the 0.7, would be perfect if you're working with fabrics that are very slippery. Think of a rayon fabric. 2 layers of rayon through a serger. The bottom layer is going to probably be fed a little faster than the top. So when you're done, your bottom layer might be a little shorter than it was intended to be. So by slowing down that front feed dog, it won't feed it in as quickly. That's why I said you got a 50-50 chance. When you know you need to adjust something, but you don't remember which way to do it, if you find yourself working with a lot of slippery, unique fabrics, you will probably learn your differential feed the fastest. Honestly, there are so many times, gosh, I don't know, could I say 9 times out of 10, you don't have to change anything. The serger's just going to work. But that one time that you need it, you have that ability to adjust it, and it will show if you've adjusted it right here in a yellow number. Here, let's just do that. Back up. You can touch plus, you can slide the bubble, and then it'll show you right here what that number is. I like to sometimes just stitch from this screen, so that way if I need to go up or down just a little bit based on what my results are, I can do that right here. So you don't have to like X out of it to confirm it, you can actually sew right here and it works just great. So hopefully you don't run into any major times that you need to use this, but some of those loosely woven fabrics, slippery fabrics, around curves or something with a bias, yes, differential feed is going to be your friend. I hope you'll check out all those links below, the whole playlist of the BERNINA L890 free video tutorials that we have done for you. And again, look in the description below for classes, SERGER classes, Craftsy classes that we recommend as well.